if your feet burn at night, if your toes feel numb in the morning, if you've ever looked down and wondered why they don't feel fully connected to you anymore. You need to hear this. After 60, neuropathy doesn't usually explode overnight. It creeps in, quietly, slowly, and by the time the tingling becomes constant, the nerves have already been struggling for years. But here's the part most people never hear. What if the exercises you've been told to do are actually irritating the very nerves you're trying to protect? More walking, more stretching, more pushing through discomfort. For damaged nerves, that can be the wrong approach. Surgeons and rehabilitation specialists don't rely on random movement. They use very specific activation patterns designed to restore circulation and reawaken nerve signaling without overstressing fragile tissue. And one of those movements is so simple. Most people dismiss it. Today, I'm breaking down 5 targeted exercises that support nerve health after 60, ranked from helpful to most powerful. And the final one may completely change how you approach your symptoms. Let's begin. Number 1, seated marching. This is the movement most people overlook because it looks almost too simple to matter. But for neuropathy after 60, simplicity is often exactly what fragile nerves need. Seated marching works by reactivating circulation in the hips and upper legs, which is critical for nerve nourishment. Many people focus only on the feet when neuropathy starts there. But nerves in the feet depend on healthy blood flow from higher up the chain. If circulation is sluggish in the thighs and hips, the distal nerves suffer first. When you lift one knee at a time while seated, you activate the hip flexors, quadriceps, and deep stabilizing muscles. That contraction creates a pumping effect through the larger vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to the peripheral nerves. Over time, improved blood delivery helps support nerve repair and function. This matters because research indexed through the National Institutes of Health shows that reduced lower limb circulation is strongly associated with worsening neuropathic symptoms in older adults. Harvard Health publications also emphasize that low-impact rhythmic movement improves vascular efficiency without overstressing joints or irritated tissue. Seated marching is powerful because it is controlled. There is no impact, no sudden loading, no risk of overstretching already sensitive nerves. That makes it ideal for seniors who feel unstable standing or who experience burning sensations when weight-bearing. To perform it correctly, sit tall in a sturdy chair. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one knee toward your chest a few inches. Hold briefly, then lower it with control. Switch sides. The movement should feel deliberate, not rushed. Start with 20 alternating lifts. Rest. Repeat for 2 to 3 rounds as tolerated. Breathing should remain steady. If you feel strain in your lower back, reduce the height of the lift. The goal is not fatigue. The goal is circulation. Many people notice that their feet feel warmer or slightly more responsive after even a few minutes. That warmth is increased blood flow reaching tissues that often receive less attention with age. Seated marching sets the foundation. It prepares the vascular system for more targeted nerve work later in this list. It may look basic, but after 60, basic done consistently beats aggressive done occasionally. Number 2, toe taps. This is where we begin targeting the feet directly. Neuropathy often starts in the smallest nerve endings first. The toes lose sensation. Balance becomes uncertain. The floor feels different, and many people respond by moving less. That is the worst thing you can do. Toe taps are not about strength. They are about reactivating communication. When you repeatedly lift and lower your toes while keeping your heels grounded, you stimulate the intrinsic muscles of the foot and the small motor nerves that control them. These nerves are often the first to weaken when circulation declines or when blood sugar fluctuations affect nerve tissue. The movement may look minor, but neurologically, it is significant. Every controlled repetition sends a signal from the brain down through peripheral nerve pathways into the foot. That signal reinforces the neural circuit. When circuits are not used, they degrade. When they are activated gently and repeatedly, they maintain function longer. Research indexed through the National Institutes of Health shows that targeted foot activation improves proprioception and motor response in adults with peripheral neuropathy. The Mayo Clinic also emphasizes that balance and small muscle strengthening exercises reduce fall risk by improving sensory feedback from the feet. And that feedback matters. Your toes contain dense sensory receptors. They help your brain understand where your body is in space. When that input weakens, your balance becomes less stable. When you retrain it, stability improves. To perform toe taps correctly, Sit upright in a chair with both feet flat on the floor. Keep your heels planted firmly. Slowly lift your toes upward toward your shins. Pause briefly, then lower them back down. The motion should be controlled and smooth. Avoid bouncing or snapping the toes upward. Quick movements reduce nerve engagement. Slow lifting increases neuromuscular activation. Begin with 15 to 20 repetitions. Rest. Repeat for 2 to 3 sets. As the movement becomes easier, you can perform it standing while holding onto a stable surface. This adds a mild balance challenge, which further strengthens the communication between your feet and your brain. Harvard Health publications note that repetitive low-load muscle activation improves peripheral circulation while minimizing joint strain. That balance is critical for aging nerves. You may notice subtle sensations during this exercise. Mild tingling is acceptable. Sharp or worsening pain is not. The goal is stimulation without irritation. Toe taps may feel insignificant at first, but consistent activation of the small muscles in the feet can slow sensory decline and support steadier walking over time. This exercise builds the foundation for something deeper, because circulation alone is not enough. Nerves must also glide and stretch properly. And that brings us to number 3. Number 3, seated straight leg hamstring stretch. This is where most people misunderstand neuropathy. They think it is only a circulation problem, but nerves are physical structures. They run through muscles, around joints, and along connective tissue. If the surrounding muscles tighten, nerves lose space. When nerves lose space, irritation increases. That is exactly what often happens after 60. The hamstrings, the large muscles at the back of your thighs, gradually shorten with prolonged sitting and reduced mobility. When they tighten, they can place subtle mechanical tension along the sciatic nerve pathway, which runs from the lower back down into the foot. You may not feel back pain. You may not feel hamstring tightness, but your nerves feel it. A seated straight leg hamstring stretch gently restores length to this area, reducing unnecessary tension on nerve pathways and improving mobility along the entire posterior chain. Clinical rehabilitation programs referenced by institutions like the Mayo Clinic frequently include posterior chain stretching for neuropathic symptoms. Research indexed through the National Institutes of Health also notes that improving lower limb flexibility can reduce neural mechanosensitivity, which means nerves become less reactive to movement. This is not about aggressive stretching. In fact, aggressive stretching can worsen neuropathy symptoms. This movement must be slow and controlled. To perform it properly, sit upright on the edge of a sturdy chair. Extend one leg straight in front of you with your heel resting on the floor. Keep your toes pointed upward toward the ceiling. Now, hinge forward slightly from your hips while keeping your back straight. You are not rounding your spine. You are gently leaning forward. You should feel a mild stretch along the back of your thigh. Hold for 15 to 20 seconds. Breathe steadily. Then slowly return upright. Switch sides. Repeat 2 to 3 times per leg. If you feel sharp pulling behind the knee or increased tingling down the leg, ease off slightly. The stretch should feel firm but not aggressive. Harvard Health publications emphasize that gentle flexibility work improves circulation and reduces tissue stiffness, which in turn supports healthier nerve movement. And that is the key word here, movement. When nerves are surrounded by tight tissue, their ability to glide decreases. When that glide improves, nerve signaling often becomes less irritated. Many people notice that after consistent stretching for a few weeks, the pulling sensation in the legs decreases, and nighttime discomfort becomes less intense. This exercise bridges the gap between circulation work and nerve mobility. But flexibility alone does not fully retrain balance, and balance loss is one of the most dangerous consequences of neuropathy after 60, which is why number 4 is critical. Number 4, balance tandem walk. This is the exercise that protects independence. Because neuropathy is not only about discomfort, it is about instability. When sensation in the feet declines, your brain receives less accurate information about where your body is positioned. That reduced feedback affects coordination, reaction time, and walking mechanics. Over time, small adjustments become delayed, and delayed adjustments increase fall risk. The balanced tandem walk directly retrains that communication system. Walking heel to toe in a straight line forces the sensory nerves in your feet, ankles, and lower legs to send clearer signals to the brain. It challenges proprioception, which is your internal awareness of body position, and that awareness weakens significantly when peripheral nerves lose sensitivity. Clinical guidance from the Mayo Clinic frequently emphasizes balance training for individuals with neuropathy because fall prevention is a major priority. Research indexed through the National Institutes of Health shows that structured balance exercises improve neuromuscular coordination and reduce fall incidence in older adults with sensory loss. This movement looks simple. It is not. To perform it safely, stand near a wall or countertop for support. Place one foot directly in front of the other so that the heel of your front foot touches the toes of your back foot. Now walk forward in that same heel-to-toe pattern. Each step should be slow and deliberate. Do not rush. If you feel unstable, lightly touch the wall for balance. Over time, aim to reduce how much support you need. Begin with 10 slow steps forward. Turn carefully. Return in the same manner. Repeat 2 to 3 times. What makes this exercise powerful is the controlled challenge it creates. The narrow base of support forces your nervous system to work harder. That effort strengthens the communication loop between your feet and your brain. Harvard Health publications note that consistent balance practice improves neural adaptation, meaning your nervous system becomes more efficient at correcting instability. And here is something important. Balance does not improve automatically with walking. Walking on a wide base is relatively stable. Tandem walking narrows that base and forces deeper neuromuscular engagement. Many seniors report feeling more confident walking outdoors after practicing this exercise for several weeks. Confidence matters. Fear of falling often leads to reduced activity, which accelerates muscle loss and worsens neuropathy symptoms. This movement breaks that cycle. It restores trust in your footing, but even balance training has limitations, because balance improves communication between muscles and nerves. It does not directly mobilize the nerve pathway itself, and that is where the most important exercise comes in. Number 5 addresses the nerve directly. Number 5, seated sciatic nerve glide. This is the movement most people have never heard of. And yet, in rehabilitation settings, it is often the first thing therapists introduce when nerve irritation is involved, because this exercise does something the others do not. It works directly on the nerve. Neuropathy is not only about weak muscles or reduced circulation, it is also about nerve mobility. Peripheral nerves are designed to glide smoothly through surrounding tissue every time you move. When that glide becomes restricted, irritation increases. Signals become distorted. Burning, tingling, and shooting sensations intensify. After 60, reduced movement, prolonged sitting, inflammation, and metabolic changes can cause nerves to become less mobile. They stiffen within their pathways, and when nerves cannot glide properly, even normal daily movement can aggravate them. The seated sciatic nerve glide gently restores that motion. Unlike stretching, which lengthens muscle, a nerve glide mobilizes the nerve itself without aggressively pulling on it. This distinction is critical. Aggressive stretching can worsen neuropathy symptoms. Nerve gliding is controlled and rhythmic. Clinical rehabilitation literature indexed through the National Institutes of Health discusses neural mobilization techniques as a method for reducing mechanosensitivity in irritated nerves. The Mayo Clinic also highlights nerve mobility work as part of comprehensive treatment strategies for certain nerve-related conditions. Here is how to perform it safely. Sit upright in a sturdy chair. Keep your back straight. Place both feet flat on the floor. Extend one leg forward so the knee straightens gently. As you straighten the leg, pull your toes upward toward your shin. At the same time, gently lift your head and look slightly upward. Then, reverse the motion. Lower your foot back down while allowing your chin to drop slightly toward your chest. The key is coordination. When the leg straightens, the head lifts. When the leg lowers, the head drops. This synchronized movement creates a sliding motion along the sciatic nerve pathway rather than a sustained stretch. Perform 10 slow repetitions on one side. Then, switch legs. The movement should be smooth and pain-free. Mild tension is acceptable. Sharp pain is not. What makes this exercise powerful is that it directly improves nerve excursion, meaning the nerve regains its ability to move within surrounding tissues. When glide improves, irritation often decreases. Many individuals report that after several weeks of consistent nerve gliding, the intensity of tingling reduces and flare-ups become less frequent. Harvard Health publications emphasize that gentle, repetitive mobility exercises improve neural tolerance to movement over time. That tolerance matters because irritated nerves overreact to even small stimuli. This is not a quick fix, but it is precise, and precision is what fragile nerves require. If you could choose only one movement from this entire list to support neuropathy after 60, this would be it. It does not replace circulation work. It does not replace balance training. It complements them. The earlier exercises improve blood flow and stability. This one restores motion to the communication line itself. And when nerves move better, they signal better. So there you have it. 5 exercises rehabilitation specialists rely on to support circulation, restore balance, and protect nerve function after 60. And the best part? They require no equipment, no gym membership, and can be done safely at home in less than 15 minutes per day. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these exercises surprised you the most? Or which one are you starting today? Drop a comment below. We read every single one. And if this video helped you understand neuropathy in a new way, take a moment to subscribe. And before you go, don't skip the next video on your screen. It reveals one simple wall-based movement surgeons now say works better than walking for improving leg strength and stability after 60. Watch that next.